Hello everybody, my name is Kenneth and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is my first video that I've recorded in quite a while, so if I'm not on the ball or anything like that, that's why. Today we are checking out the first duet release, shall we say, of this new era mixtape Dominate from Stray Kids with Burning Tires by Changbin and I.N. I have seen the teasers for I think all of the releases, all four of them. But I don't know really what we're going to be getting into with this. Obviously this came out as I'm recording this yesterday. I don't know when I'll be posting this. If you didn't see on YouTube, I'm adding a bunch of recording plans, and when I've done that, done that plan, then I will start posting again, because I'm technically currently having a break from YouTube. Yes, I'm in my pajamas. I'm chronically ill. I have EDS. I'm autistic, so I am in my pajamas. I am not going to apologize for that. I don't have the energy anymore to pretend that I can get dressed for all of these videos. A lot of the videos I was literally just wearing a jumper and just hoping that it looked alright. Anyway, we are going to be checking out this first duet release. I am really looking forward to it. Pause warning before we get into this. I am a pauser. If that's not for you, that's totally okay. But I am a pauser, so if that's not for you, go find another reactor that you gel more with. But if you're okay with that, let's join me on my first reaction to Burning Tires. I'm genuinely really looking forward to this, seeing the pairings and everything. So yeah, let's get into this first release.
One day, a new adventure begins for these two.
Okay, sorry, no. I'm already pausing. So I'm going to give you a theory that I already have from this first 8 seconds. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But it's just a funny, immediate thought that I just popped into my head. So obviously it starts with the kind of the chocolate bar and the zooming out. Is the burning tires, just gonna be Changbin and I.N racing around the city or something, searching for the perfect replacement chocolate bar or something? I know it's a silly theory and it's probably completely wrong, but that's just my first thought. Also, he's staring at me like he knows I'm wrong. He's staring at me like he knows I'm wrong. I love this distorted guitar. Ooh. Okay. This is not what I was expecting, but what I will say, just from how this sounds, are they still making Fast and Furious not music videos, Fast and Furious movies? Because if they are, Changbin I.N, I recommend you go pitch it. The sound of it already, I'm already it's intense. It's intense in a word. It's got a real feeling, like a really rocky, kind of edge to it. Pop punk maybe. I don't know where it straddles the line between those two. And I love Changbin. I think it's Changbin's voice I heard there. It just sounded really interesting. I might have been wrong. Obviously, we'll find out. But it sounded like Changbin there. Yeah, here. That low part on the rolling. Yeah, like that. Oh. I really like the fact that over these lyrics, and I'll try and go back to the lyrics the second time I watch this. I think I'm going to watch this twice. But obviously, the way the vocal is edited, it's got like a muffled telephone kind of effect on it. It's usually, I think it's called a telephone effect. It really worked with the fact that he had his helmet on. Because obviously it wouldn't be super clear, and it gives you the vibe that you're like in that scene with him. I saw like car metaphor or car lingo and stuff like that, RPM, not car, driving vehicles. I don't know words, but I saw all that. But yeah, this track definitely feels like we're going to be having a lot of sports racing metaphors used as kind of a metaphor for tackling the day, tackling life. Indeed, in this lyric, burning up the track, talking about like their musical prodigy prowessness. Oh, I like that. Sorry, I know I'm interrupting Changbin. I will come back because I'm going to listen to this part again. I love the power of three we've got to go on. I'm not tired, 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 tire, and then it was fire, fire, fire. I think that was it. Yes. I in a lot of songs, poems, even like speeches, there's often a use of what I think it's called the power of three, or a list of three, or something like that. And its sole purpose is to make the listener really believe what you're saying. It's kind of because it kind of shows your understanding of a subject, your engagement with the subject. In this case, it really kind of, to me, is giving this intensity that Changbin feels to pushing through and not slowing down, and succumbing to tiredness. Also, that kind of, this kind of feeling almost as well of him being inhuman, so something more than human, that he doesn't experience kind of the fatigue and things and stuff. I'm gonna listen to this part again though. I love that bass. Oh, sorry. Been going off track breaking rules since 2018. That callback, because we're coming up, is it 7 years since Stray Kids' debut? I'm trying to think. Yeah, it was 2018. It is 7 years, or is it 8 years? No. 19, 20. Anyway, maths, not my strong suit. But just that little callback. Because he could easily have called back to before, like pre-debut days. Because he's always, if we take Changbin by himself here, and I.N by himself, they've both been working at this since before Stray Kids debuted. Do you know what I mean? So it would have been kind of interesting if he'd have said before 2018. You know, a lot of kind of tracks like this, when they're like, I've been breaking rules, I've been doing this, I've been da-da-da. Some of them have often kind of go for the route of like, I've been doing this since I was in the womb, or I was before I was even conceived. You know, all of this kind of grand thing. Whereas there's a real modesty here. Yes, it's confident and it's like, but it's still modest in that it's attributing himself a little bit or a lot to Stray Kids, and indeed giving Stray Kids a credit to all of the genres that they've kind of adjusted into their own kind of genre, all of the expectations and things like that they've they've broken up kind of through. But I'm just kind of contextualizing it in both ways, because obviously with it being a duet track, obviously there's that nuance, I think. I really like this. Again, there's like a bass line underneath this that's really satisfying to listen to. Ooh, just look at me. Ooh, that slide. Little caterpillar, millipede, insect thing on the ground aside, the way that this was shot, it gives me early 2000s TV show theme song vibes. Just in the way that the camera kind of is, the sound of the actual song, makes me feel nostalgic for that kind of era a little bit. I'm really impressed with the direction, because I don't know what I'm getting with any of these songs, you know, as in when they're released. But I'm very impressed with the direction that we're going with this. I'm gonna listen to this again. This part. Yeah, so it's interesting there. We've got up there from I.N, I think, and then the kind of at the bottom there from Changbin. But the way that their voices are blending, it almost gives this the only way I can describe it is it's like if you plug their voices into a guitar amp. I don't know if anyone will understand what I mean when I say that, but it just sounds like they've taken a microphone, plugged it into a guitar amp, and then just changed something on a guitar, just to give it a real gritty texture. That's not a part of the voice that feels added, if that makes sense. And that's not a criticism before anyone jumps down my throat, because I'm always scared of saying something like this, and in case someone misconstrues. But yeah, when you think about obviously all the instrumentation, it makes sense that they want their vocals to fit in with that. So this added little like grit on top of their voice almost makes their voices sound more like instruments, in the sense of like a guitar, than an instrument in the sense of a vocal, if that makes sense. Okay, plot twist, musically. I'm gonna come back to this part because I didn't expect us to change so quickly. Obviously, in the first verse we had RPM. Obviously, this time we have BPM. That use of obviously one acronym again, vehicular, one medical. Again, it's all about that stress and strain. In the first verse, it's the stress and strain on the vehicle, which you could argue. Okay, you could argue that the vehicle is Stray Kids as a group, as a brand, as a collective, versus the personal my BPM. So it's what I contribute, what I.N's contributing, what Changbin is contributing. And so, and then even in this song, it's the duet, the duo versus the individual parts of that duet. I will be honest, when I saw this line here, my wheels aren't worn down, my immediate thought was back in the Mama performance of Maniac, where if you've seen videos of other angles of that performance, you see Bang Chan kind of hold his arm out to kind of steady I.N. And so I feel like this is a good line that really shows I.N's strength and how much he's grown, both physically in terms of his mind and body, but also as an artist, as a performer, a singer, and everything like that. Because obviously back then he was giving it his all. He's doing great, but obviously, as I said, that was my first thought. That moment when you can kind of see Chan kind of hold out his arm, and I might be wrong. That might not be what was happening, but it looked like it was to stop I.N from fainting. But it's just a nice. It kind of makes me feel like a proud person, like a proud onlooker, being like, oh my god, he's aware of how much work he's done and kind of how far he's improved beyond what he already was. Does that make sense? Last thing I wanted to say, obviously, before we continue, just because I don't want to forget, obviously with Hallucination, that was originally Changbin's song, but he gave it to I.N and they and he rewrote it. They rewrote it. I feel like that was such a great teaser for this song, just from the songwriting perspective. That ability of how they work all together. I knew it was going to be good, and I'm excited for all of the pairs, but I just think it's that. It was almost, I don't know if it was an intentional teaser, but it was a teaser, and it when you look back at it now, and yeah. That a Marvel reference? Not the millipede grooving. Not the millipede grooving underneath Changbin's foot. That's definitely a reference to the Hulk. Obviously, we know that Changbin likes the Hulk. Obviously, I think that's what Ultra was inspired by, in part. This part here, it was giving Quicksilver. Quicksilvers are often, I think, because obviously the phrase is quick as a fox, so I feel like it's a perfect marrying of the two. Sorry, I just had to, especially because of the kind of the visual effect of how it looked. I just had to comment on it really quickly. I love this vocal effect. It's so edgy. Ooh. Oh, that contrast. Oh, that was a really nice. All night long into that ba 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 ba. Oh, I like that. I like that. Oh my god, the way this is turned into a showdown. Just the faces, like the faces, the face off. I don't know why, but this feels like a reference to me, to something, and I don't know what. I feel like everything's been intentional, and I feel like this is intentional, and I don't know why. If anyone knows, please let me know. But yeah, just the way that they've gotten this perfect like face off stare really really well down, and especially when like not like 2 seconds earlier kind of thing, they were dancing. I was thinking it was kind of edgy, and then Changbin smiled, and it was such like a soft, pure smile. I was like, did I say that at the wrong time? I love the contrast here between the voices as well, the pitches. Rolling on the street. Da, 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 da. Oh, I love it. Yeah. I love that we're getting his voice on its own. Sorry, 1 second. There's something so slapstick about the way that he did that. That was perfect. The level of expression in the expression. It was just perfect. I want to see them in a comedy drama. Ooh, the two parts. Oh, come through. That part is giving me, oh, can't touch this vibes. This it's a similar like motif. Obviously, I'm not saying it's the same, but it's a similar. It gives me the same kind of feeling. Oh, I love it. I love that it's a dance off and a revolution all at once. And then going for gold. Speeding ticket. What? Oh, I wish I could see what that says. Vehicle model something something. Driver Changbin. Does that say? Hang on. Does that say Chang? That looks like it says Changbin and then I.N. No, it doesn't. Never mind. I can read. Sorry. You guys, I know you guys are going to see on an even smaller like thing. If you haven't seen the video, I obviously recommend checking out the original video. But the way it looked is, because it's so small, it looked like it said Changbi and then a space and then I.N. But underneath, now I can kind of see a bit better, it says I.N. underneath. It's interesting that Changbin is listed as the driver. Because obviously earlier in the music video, it looked like he was in the backseat of the car, versus I.N. that was on the motorbike. So that's interesting that here in the speeding ticket. Yeah. 150, is that 150 miles an hour? License plate burning tires. I wonder if that's a code for something. Like I don't know how registrations work, but like if you change B to, like if you change it to a numerical code, like B becomes 2, etc., etc. I can't remember all the numbers of the alphabet right now, but I wonder if that's a thing. Okay, I just want to miss some. Oh, got the trophy. I love that. We've got the trophy. We've done the work. We've won the race. We've got the prize money. Got the trophy, all that jazz. Want to split. Just like that. Because they've been splitting everything else. I really like that. We're gonna watch it through again. I'm gonna try. I think I got better at focusing as the video went on. I'm gonna try and focus especially on I.N's first verse because I didn't catch everything. Because I was kind of. I think the pace of some of the other shots really helped me adjust. Especially like with the fish islands and stuff. And I think as well with the catchiness of the chorus, like it immediately kind of earwormed. It's also interesting, like because the caterpillar. Sorry, just last thought before I forget. The caterpillar looks radioactive. I still want to know what the significance of the chocolate is. Is it I don't know. Is it the sugar that made it? I don't know.
One day, a new adventure begins for these two.
He looked good in those glasses. Okay, I didn't see this before. Hello, Glare. Game usum chi sangum daba daba daba. That's a big bloomin' prize pool. Does that mean now or never at the top as well? That's a big prize pool though. Oh wait. You guys are gonna think I'm so dumb. I'm here reading the hanga and like trying to like decipher it. And the subtitles are on. Can you see now why I pause, you guys? Can you see now why I paused? Because I genuinely wanted to like read because it was, and so I didn't even think to look at the subtitles. We're not done about it. Hey, at least you know I'm paying attention. But no, that makes more sense now. Also, even that makes me nostalgic because there like used to be a joke in like the behind the rapper. There's something about the vocal. Oh. Yeah, so as I was saying before, there's a much more mechanical kind of lexicon going on here. You've got the metaphor of flooring the gas, putting in effort. RPM I already mentioned. But it's very clear here, every day is a big race. It's D-Day. Now obviously D-Day is a significant day. In K-pop, it's often the release day, I think, but obviously it has historical context as well. So it's interesting. The fact that this is so mechanical, this verse, in terms of the lyricism. You don't get like a time to prepare. You don't get a time to relax and stuff. Obviously, Changbin kind of says later on, you know, I don't get tired, ha ha ha, kind of almost laughing at it kind of thing, lyrically. But it makes sense that everything, all every day's effort, putting in, flooring the gas, it makes sense that every day is the comeback day, every day is the release day, every day is the big, you know, the big party kind of thing. If you're a kind of a mechanical thinker in the way that this is, you're always working, always think, you know, you're never stopping. Also, I just want to say, I'm sorry, 1 second. I have a continuity gripe. Oh wait, that's kilometers per hour. Never mind. Never mind. This is just kind of exposes how stupid he is. I was like, the ticket at the end said the top speed was 150. That says 205. But obviously, one said miles per hour, one says kilometers per hour, and I don't know the conversion rate. Never mind. I love the cyberpunk cityscape that we've got going on here, by the way, as well. In the background here, it's almost like a video game. Yeah, they're definitely racing against each other. I know what this makes me think of. This makes me think of the old street music videos, the street versions of Stray Kids stuff. Just the way, obviously it's obviously more professional because it's not done on a selfie stick as a lot of stuff was back then. But just the way that they're moving around a city space or space. They're jumping over the railings. It just feels nostalgic. And I'm seeing a bunch of coming soon. I'm seeing burning tires, rolling, burning towers, boom. Stray, all something. All around the world. Stray Kids all around the world, I'm assuming. And then you make Stray Kids stay. Everyone wins. This is really clever. And then more lyrics. It's very clever the way they've done that as almost like a collage on the wall. Clever. See, I didn't notice that the first time. I love this part. Yeah, that radioactive millipede. Interesting. Yeah, so interestingly, with I.N.'s delivery in both and kind of the way that the first verse was edited, there's an intentional effect added, whether digitally and kind of that telephone effect I mentioned earlier, or in this one where he takes those heavy breaths. So it's almost like he's on a treadmill, for the purpose of recording, but that he's doing all these heavy duty things, that he's working this hard, even as he's delivering it, which really makes it sell. It also changes his vocal tone a little bit. Yeah, it creates an interesting, an interesting texture to his voice. Obviously, it still sounds like I.N, but the way he delivers it, it makes it. It's almost like, those puzzles, the perspective puzzles where they look one way, a certain way, look something one way, and then you turn it and it looks like something another way. This is like that for me, but auditorily. So because of the way he's doing this, if you imagine his voice is normally like this, it's almost like this. If that makes normally like this, it's more like this. If that makes sense. I love it though, and their voices work so well together. I love that eye. I love the little star. I would be very interested, because I think there is already a TikTok. I wonder if they're going to do the challenge like a challenge for it and how it will work. Will they do it with other duet kind of formats, like where they'll take two other idols and do it like that, or are they going to split themselves off and go? And Changbin, for instance, goes and does it with one idol. I.N goes and does it with another. That would interest me. I like that it has choreo though, because if without the choreo, you kind of would just think it's like a headbanging kind of song. But I like the fact that there is the thought. Even there, like there's like a choreographed kind of like literal like swipe kind of get out of my way. But here, all of the moods feel, I don't know, they feel like they make sense with the song, but then when it becomes kind of less dancey, like here, for I.N and Changbin, because obviously the backup dancers continue doing the kind of movement. When it becomes less dancey, it's still choreographed and it still looks, it's like a strength in numbers kind of thing. It just looks cool. I just noticed Changbin sweats at this part. No, they're both sweating. Okay. That piercing. I didn't notice the piercing. Sorry, I.N, I'm interrupting you. It's fake, right? It's fake, right? The piercing. I just noticed it. He looks good with a piercing. I mean, we've got Han with tattoos. If I.N wants to get piercings, I know it's probably fake here, but get it. I just noticed he's in a trolley. Is he actually in a trolley? He's in a trolley. Even that feels like nostalgic, like, because like when I was growing up, there were shows that were like people would do pranks and stuff like that, and there'd be like game shows where like people had to like sit in, like you could sit in a trolley and go grab like stuff off shelves and and that's just what it reminds me of visually. What I think is funny though is I.N looks ready to go, ready to go again, whereas Changbin obviously is kind of running on empty. But it's almost like their duo, they're recharging from each other, like they're pushing each other to continue. So it's almost like he gets his second wind and he's ready to go. I love this. I genuinely love this. Even the way the little text had the competitor competitor even that made me think of all the game shows that I watched growing up, and even from being a kid to when I was older and watching Total Wipeout and all that kind of stuff. It gives me the same kind of vibes. I love this. I think what I love most about this part is just the synchronicity with the dance moves and the guitar. Because obviously, you could just kind of dance to the beat, behind it. But it's just, it's, I don't know, it's just so satisfying. I think again what I love is at the beginning of that it looks like a dance battle, but then it's them coming together that wins them the trophy. Yeah, I love it. I love as well that we get this continuity, not continuity, sorry, this circle of them coming back here. It's just such a, it's just such a nice little way, good way of closing it. And it also gives you the impression, and I think it's an intentional impression, that this is just going to keep happening. They're going to keep going out, winning races, coming back, relaxing, chilling, da 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 da, going out, da 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 da, you know, and then it'll never end, kind of thing. And I think that's the ultimate kind of point of burning tires. Is you can, you know, you can burn out those tires, but you can always get new ones, as well as the fact, obviously, the tire circular. So, you know, it's infinite in that way. I'm so proud of them. Yeah, I am so proud of them both. I'm particularly proud again of I.N. Both from hallucination to now, in that kind of short space of time. He's shown so much more confidence and so much more skill and ability that he's always had, but I think has been driven by that confidence. And it's really nice, again, him working with Changbin on this song, because I think just in the same way as the music video, that they were driving each other. In that sense, they drive each other in real life. They aspire to be like each other, and I'm sure that's true of all the members. But I think it's especially true with I.N and Changbin. They definitely feel like they get energy from one another. I'm surprised that the credits aren't in there. I was looking really quickly at the credits to see if the writing credits were in there, because I wasn't aware. Because obviously I assume I.N and Changbin were the main writers and composers, but I just wanted to see if there were other credits for production, mixing, you know, who, when, because obviously sending off to get mixed, often it's a third party person, just generally. But yeah, I really like this. Again, it really plays to both of their strengths, their contrast and their voices. I.N has a lovely, soft, thin, high voice. And when I say thin, I don't mean weak. I mean it just sounds light. Versus Changbin's more gritty, lower kind of tone when, you know, I'm not saying he can't go high, but he often kind of centers himself in the lower notes. And so that contrast, I always say this about duets, you need that contrast. It doesn't have to be man and woman, doesn't have to be anything like that. It just needs to be a contrast, whether it's high or low, whether it's fast or slow, whether it's da-da-da. And even then you've got that contrast between Changbin's rapping and I.N's vocals. Obviously, yes, they come together, and they do, and Changbin does do singing as well. But again, that real contrast there between the rapping and the sing rap kind of performance, again, is what makes the duet great. It's that contrast. And so yeah, I really like that. I loved the vibe of the song, the instrumentation. I will be 100% honest. Back when we were getting Rockstar, this is the sound I was expecting. this is the sound I was expecting and wanting. Now, I wasn't disappointed by what we got with Rockstar, but obviously it wasn't what I expected. This is what I was expecting. And I think that it's such a good sound for them. Because again, when I talk about voices, both of them have really strong voices, and so they work really well with this type of heavier sound, heavier music, heavier sound. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed this. Again, if they're still making Fast and Furious movies, I really, really want this to be in one of them. Or I guess because of how the game sections looked, the driving racing sections looked, you could also put it in Cyberpunk. But I feel like imagine like it being like a part of an OST like that as well, just like included on it. That'd be really cool. I really, really enjoyed this though. Yeah, going into this mixtape, obviously the only song that I have any kind of awareness of is Giant. Obviously the current version's going to be slightly different, but it's going to be overall thematically the same. But in terms of the rest of the songs, the duets, I didn't know what I was going to get. Yeah, I am pleasantly surprised, because even the teaser, I think the teaser for this worked really well, because it gave things away, but didn't give things away at the same time. Yeah. Okay, so what did you guys think? You guys have watched this with me. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments. I will be, of course, reacting to the rest of the songs as they come out. As I said, I've got a whole recording plan before I start posting videos, so this will probably be out a few weeks in the future, after I've seen all of them. But yeah, this was a really strong song. Really strong song. So yeah, what did you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to support the original video, support the original song, and I will say this on all of them. Support the mixtape, of course. I really, really enjoyed this. I'm gonna go and listen to this 10 more times. No, I'm kidding. I'm gonna listen to it even more than that. But I'm gonna go. Thank you guys for watching this with me. As I said, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone. Bye.